Now, an important community event is coming up in Ennis aimed at helping people stay safe on our roads. The Clare Older People's Council, together with Clare County Council's Age Friendly programme, are hosting a safety information and demonstration event this coming Saturday, the 18th, at Clare Marts and Quin Road. It's all about promoting safer road use for drivers, cyclists and pedestrians, with practical demonstrations, expert advice and even free tyre checks on the day. And joining me now to tell us more is the Vice Chair of Clare Older People's Council, Mike Cusack, Niamh Wiley, Clare Local Community Safety Partnership Coordinator, and the Clare Community Policing Sergeant in Ennis, Sergeant Dominic Regan. Folks, you're all welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks very much for coming in. Mike, tell us a bit more about the event, and is this the first time this has happened, or is this an annual kind of highlight for older road users on what they need to know?
Thank you. It's a new initiative in that the figure of fatalities on our roads have been going up, and many older drivers came from an age whereby there were no roundabouts when we learnt to drive. Motorways came long after we had got our licences, and there's been no formal way of showing older road users, whether the drivers, cyclists, pedestrians, the proper way to negotiate roundabouts, the proper way to enter a dual way, leave a dual way. So the initiative came up in the end of last year, and we just went through the Clare Older People's Council and the Clare Age Friendly were very supportive. We contacted the RSA, we contacted TII and contacted the Garda, and got great support. The event will be on in Clare Marts, and unlike something whereby it's just to set up and talk to people and tell people, our aim is to show the correct way of negotiating roundabouts, and we have a couple of roundabouts even here in Ennis that are entertaining, to put it mildly, in terms of how people negotiate them. And we're going to have members of the Clare Vintage Car, Pat Morrissey and Peter Ryan and Kieran Fox were very helpful in. So here will be a case of people who look after their cars, demonstrating for older drivers and for any drivers what is the best way. And so that's the main thrust of what we're doing.
Okay, Dominic, to come to you on this, I mean, as Mike mentioned there, highlighting some roundabouts that are problematic. I mean, from a policing perspective, and you're out there on your bikes, so you're seeing a lot of it. What are the biggest risks you see on Clare's roads today?
Well, thanks, Alan. Any initiative that will help provide education and safety to drivers is very worthwhile. I definitely echo what Michael was saying there about roundabouts and that, and there probably are a lot of people who've never had any training in them. Training has moved on since that, right, and road structure has certainly changed in that, and we're happy to be involved in this and certainly guide people at the correct procedure with lanes and that, and a lot of road traffic collisions can be avoided with some proper education.
It does seem a bit remarkable though that people can pass their driving test, and you know, roundabouts are a key part of that, yet I see it myself in indicating at the right exits and so on. It's just that's one aspect of driving that just seems to go out of people's brain. It's like, you know, when you're rote learning for the Leaving Cert, as soon as you step out from your final exam, a lot of it goes out one ear.
Certainly lane discipline on roundabouts is critical, to be honest. A lot of, as Michael said there, it can be entertaining watching what happens on some roundabouts. We all see it ourselves. Any education around that is very important, and it will reduce a lot of collisions.
Okay, Niamh, to bring you in, can you just give us a bit more background on the role Clare Local Community Safety Partnership is going to play in this?
Well, first of all, I suppose it's wonderful that we're supporting this initiative. We're behind it, and I think anywhere you get an event like this where it informs you on road safety, and I think there's a lesson, there's something we can learn for all of us on all ages, and I really commend the Older People's Council on this wonderful initiative. I suppose the Local Community Safety Partnership, we are just at the beginning, and this will be our first major event on Saturday, where we're partnering up with the Garda to bring the property market initiative to Clare Marts. So again, another wonderful issue around community safety, around your property, and as we know, a lot of theft recently, and this is one way of, I suppose, counteracting that. So we're calling on people around the county with equipment from I suppose farming equipment to garden equipment, power tools to come, and I know Dominic will explain the process in a minute, but I suppose to bring, we can actually do the marking on the day. And I suppose also on the initiative that at the moment we've been running it for the last few years, but we'd like it to be more county-wide. And if any community groups have events there that we're open to come out, they just need to contact the Safety Partnership, and that we will organise the event with them. And we're very on board for that. So we're urging people to come out on Saturday.
And Mike, the event will include demonstrations. Understand there'll be roundabouts in a 2-lane roadway. Just how effective are hands-on visual experiences in improving road safety awareness?
Well, this is something that is new, Alan. But we didn't just come up with what we're going to do. We went out and we went to various groups and we actually asked older drivers or drivers within that category
what their key concerns were.
What would you like help with? Yeah. And the top 3 things were roundabouts, speed management, motorway driving, and number 4 were junctions. Number 5 was mobile phones and driving, and number 6 was the correct use of lights on cars, so that people are conscious of it in any time. And there was a great response from people, so that any driver out there will very quickly give you a list of the complaints that they have against other drivers. But here's an opportunity just to show people what is the correct way. And we don't want, this is not a day-long thing, this is just 2 hours between 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock. We just want to take a number of examples and demonstrate them and allow people to ask questions as well. That's important.
Okay, and Dominic, Garda, I understand, will be offering property marking on the day. Can you explain how that works and why it's useful?
That's right. I'll just fly a quick introduction to property marking. So this is an initiative which is run by the Clare Local Community Safety Partnership in association with us in the Garda Síochána. Clare County Council were great, where they provided funding to purchase this equipment, and we work together to bring events all around the county. So property marking, basically, in essence, is a process where a physical mark is etched onto a piece of property. I'll go through property that can be marked, such as trailers, bicycles, garden machinery, lawnmowers, tools, even cases for tools, your spanner and socket sets, sports items such as golf clubs, some electrical equipment, basically any large items as well we should be able to mark. So the process, there's 2 main benefits of this. In my view, property that is stolen, criminals are reliant on the benefit from selling stolen goods. Any item which has been marked by us is less attractive to criminals. It's harder to pass on. It's more easily identified as stolen. And similarly, when stolen property is recovered, a marked item is much easier for us to return to the owner, to identify the owner, because a lot of times property is identified as stolen and we have to appeal to social media and other places there to try and find the owner. So how we do it? The mark is made by a specially designed tool or a machine which basically embosses the property with a small dots in the pattern of, we like to use the person's air code. So we generally use the person's air code, but some people may prefer to use their driving licence number, or in other cases I've seen a telephone number being etched onto it. But in general, our main advice is we like to use the air code. So it's a free service. And we'll ask members on the day if they could bring proof of their air code or their driving licence with them, so we can. It's very important to ensure that the mark is actually accurate. So if anyone has items that they're not sure of if they can be marked or not, they can feel free to pop down to us next Saturday. I believe it's 2 p.m. at Ennis Marts, 2 to 4, and we'll certainly try and mark it and provide advice if it can or can't be marked. Last year we had a couple of events around the county towards the end. We were in Ennis Marts twice, Crusheen Garda Station, and the Kilrush Marts. And as Niamh said, we're happy to work in conjunction together. If community groups want to get in touch with the Safety Partnership, we'll work together to get out to the community and arrange dates for them.
And I suppose, Niamh, the community engagement aspect of it is really important, isn't it, when it comes to improving safety on our roads, and for those vulnerable and older road users to know that their concerns and perhaps even fears are being considered and something is being done to assuage them.
Absolutely. I mean, these events are so important, and I suppose that's really what underpins the local community safety partnership. You know, we'll be going to consultation very shortly in terms of community safety across Clare, and we hope to kind of get that up and running in May, and to hear the voices, including, you know, all the different issues and challenges that are coming from the county, that we form, you know, a good community safety plan for the county that's representative of the people, really, and that it'll be our blueprint going forward in terms of how we operate and how the partnership works in collaboration with the agencies. And I suppose that's what make up the partnership. It's a new initiative, but yes, events like this is fantastic for the county, and hopefully there'll be a big turnout on the day.
Okay, so it is this coming Saturday, the 18th of April, Clare Marts in the Quin Road from 2 to 4. Just to finish with yourself, Mike, what, if anything, should people bring with them on the day other than their good selves?
The good selves, yes. We're going to have a large parking area so that there will be parking available on site, but an open mind and a willingness to try to understand what is the best way to use the roads. I'd just like, before ending, to pay a special word of thanks to Chanel Waring and to Sandra Stackpool in the Clare Age Friendly, because they have been very supportive in all of the arrangements and procedures for Saturday.
Okay, brilliant stuff. Folks, thanks to the three of you for coming in, and I'm sure and hope there will be a really good turnout for a valuable event on this coming Saturday afternoon. That's Mike Cusack, Vice Chair, Clare Older People's Council, Clare Local Community Safety Partnership Coordinator Niamh Wiley, and Sergeant Dominic Regan from Clare Community Policing at Ennis Garda Station.